Get ready for the dictation on the count of 3, 2, 1, start. The PNB scam, also known as the Nirav Modi scam, was a major financial fraud that came to light in February 2018. Nirav Modi, a diamond jeweler and businessman, had allegedly conspired with several other individuals to defraud Punjab National Bank (PNB), one of the largest state-owned banks in India, of over $1.8 billion. The fraud was executed through the issuance of fraudulent letters of undertaking (LOUs) by PNB officials to Nirav Modi's firms without following proper procedures or obtaining necessary collateral. These LOUs were then used by Modi's firms to obtain credit from overseas branches of Indian banks, which was then siphoned off through shell companies. The scam was discovered when one of the banks requested PNB to honor an LOU, and PNB found that it had been issued without following proper procedures. The Indian government launched an investigation into the matter, and several individuals, including PNB officials and Nirav Modi, were charged with fraud and money laundering. Nirav Modi fled India and was eventually arrested in London in March 2019. The Indian government has been seeking his extradition to India to face trial. The case is still ongoing, and investigations are continuing to uncover the extent of the fraud and to bring those responsible to justice. The PNB scam was one of the largest financial frauds in Indian history, and it shook the Indian banking system and raised concerns about the efficacy of banking regulations in the country. The scandal also highlighted the need for better risk management and compliance measures in Indian banks. The scam had far-reaching consequences for PNB, which suffered significant financial losses and reputational damage as a result. The bank's share price plummeted, and its credit rating was downgraded by several rating agencies. The scandal also led to a decline in investor confidence in the Indian banking system as a whole. The Indian government took several steps to address the fallout from the scandal and to prevent such incidents from happening in the future. The government ordered a forensic audit of all banks, and the Reserve Bank of India (RBI) issued several directives to strengthen banking regulations and risk management practices. The RBI also introduced a new framework for dealing with stressed assets, which required banks to recognize and resolve bad loans in a timely manner. The government also set up a new agency, the National Financial Reporting Authority (NFRA), to oversee the auditing of public interest entities, including banks. The PNB scam also had political implications, as it was seen as a major failure of the government's efforts to tackle corruption and fraud in the banking sector. The opposition parties in India criticized the government for not doing enough to prevent the scam and for not taking sufficient action against those responsible. The case also highlighted the issue of non-performing assets (NPAs) in the Indian banking sector, which refers to loans that are not being repaid by borrowers. NPAs have been a major problem in the Indian banking sector for several years, and the PNB scam brought this issue to the forefront of public attention. The PNB scam also had international ramifications as it involved several overseas branches of Indian banks and the use of shell companies based in foreign countries. The scandal raised questions about the effectiveness of international financial regulations and the need for better cooperation between regulators in different countries. The extradition of Nirav Modi from the UK to India has also been a contentious issue, with Modi's legal team fighting against his extradition on the grounds of human rights violations and unfair treatment by Indian authorities. The case has raised questions about the extradition process and the relationship between the UK and India. Overall, the PNB scam was a major wake-up call for the Indian banking sector and the government. The incident highlighted the need for better risk management practices, stronger regulatory oversight, and greater transparency in the banking system. The fallout from the scandal is still being felt, and it remains to be seen what long-term impact it will have on the Indian economy and the banking sector. The PNB scam has also led to increased awareness among the general public about the risks and challenges associated with the banking sector. It has highlighted the importance of financial literacy and the need for individuals to be more vigilant about their financial transactions and investments. In conclusion, the PNB scam was a significant event in the Indian banking sector and has had far-reaching consequences for the industry, the economy, and the political landscape of the country. The scandal has highlighted the need for greater transparency, accountability, and vigilance in the banking sector and has spurred efforts to improve risk management and compliance measures. While the fallout from the scam is still being felt, the incident has also led to positive changes in the attitudes and practices of Indian banks towards risk management and regulatory compliance.